Welcome back to ZIGLET'S ZANY Murder Mania, a group improv storytelling podcast led by aelliotly. Last time on ZIGLET'S ZANY Murder Mania, we saw our contestants receive rooming assignments. They then proceeded to unpack a little, settle down, and some of them went off to explore the fun zone, a beautiful amusement park where some of them enjoyed playing various games, earning tokens for cotton candy, and getting smashed by a roller coaster cart. Is our beloved Sean player Kamir okay? Was that a kill? What exactly happened? We will begin to find out all that and more today on ZIGLET'S ZANY Murder Mania. Episode 3, Murder Japes. When does everyone wake up? When do your characters wake up?
Can you remind us when breakfast is again?
Breakfast is 6 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Cal wakes up during business hours. No, he probably gets up at like 6. He's not a morning person and he's not a night person. He's a business person, but he gets up. He has to get things done.
Okay.
So what time of day is the business time?
9 to 5.
I have no idea. I just thought it would be funny to say.
It's all the time.
All the time is business time.
Dickie wakes up at 5:51 a.m. Because it takes him 1 minute to like get out of bed. Like sometimes it's difficult. It takes a minute, 2 minutes to brush his teeth, 6 minutes to pick out his outfit and get dressed, and he leaves the mansion at 6 a.m. You don't want to be too eager. He's not too eager, but he wants to be there on time.
I think Leggy rolls out of bed, and when I say like rolls out of bed, I mean she like physically is sleeping, starts rolling, and falls out of her bed at like exactly like 7:45, which is like kind of late for her because she's an early riser, but also not an early sleeper. She does not sleep that much. But she is kind of thrown off by the day. So she falls out of bed at 7:45 and she passes by Nell's room, but I don't think she checks to see if they're there because like the door is closed. And she just goes downstairs and leaves for breakfast.
Nell probably wakes up like right in time to like get to breakfast like as early as possible. And gets to breakfast like at 6 a.m. Probably gets up like 15 minutes before, is ready, gets over there, ready to eat.
I'd say Bass gets up at 6, but I think he actually goes for a morning run every morning.
That's what I would guess.
Yeah, and so I think he actually comes back to his room and gets ready and goes to breakfast around 7.
So first it is Cal and Dickie. So you all wake up in your beautiful Alaskan king-sized beds, having no knowledge of what happened the previous night. You all just watched a great night of lard. You're doing very well. The sun is rising. It's quite beautiful. What do you do?
Dickie wakes up first. He does all of his stuff, tries to catapult out of bed. Dickie doesn't do too well brushing his teeth.
No.
He drops his toothbrush.
That's rough.
It drops in the sink. It's not on the floor. But it's the kind of drop where the toothpaste falls off of it and onto the sink. So it's just a little clump there.
Oh, God. So he has to redo that. And then it's 6. And by the time it's 6, I think Cal is now awake.
Yeah. No mishaps this morning. God, that's so dangerous. I feel like at some point he's just going to decide to sleep on the floor.
Yeah.
It's so comfortable, though. You just sink into the cushiony goodness.
But at what cost?
I'm terrified of rolling a 1, and then you're just Cal breaks his neck and fucking dies.
Instant death.
Oh, wait, no. I canonically said that he fell asleep on his computer.
But the computer was also in the bed. He had spread out all this.
I guess he was working at his bed. So he gets out of bed and he does not roll onto the side with his computer, I suppose. He doesn't actually check anything. He actually just kind of closes his laptop and he's like, damn, I fell asleep. That sucks. And I guess he's going to go to breakfast. He's a little miffed. He woke up before him and left before he was even out of bed. But he's fine. He's it's fine. It's fine. He got up at a decent time. He's not overly competitive when it comes to that. And he figures that not everybody's going to be there at the start of breakfast.
Okay, so they don't interact in the morning. They kind of pass each other by. Okay. Okay, so I think next up, Bass wakes up at 6 a.m.
I think I think he has an alarm clock actually, just to be extra obnoxious. At like 6 a.m. on the dot, Bloke hears the extremely loud opening strands to Brittany Beers, Brittany Glaves, Brittany Javelin's Toxic.
All right, so as the opening strands of Brittany Javelin's Toxic start playing, Bass, you kind of feel a shuffling kind of next to you, and then someone starts humming along. And then Bloke kind of warily pushes himself up, and he has snuck onto the bed next to you, apparently. And the long Furby that was on the bed last night is now on the floor, and you can see that someone has tucked her under the blanket that Bloke was under.
Oh, baby. I think Bass is startled a little bit by like feeling Bloke shuffle next to him. But then he freezes for a long second, then he looks down at the floor and looks back at Bloke and he goes,
Oh God,
what
sorry.
Here?
God, so I think I fell asleep on my arm or something because I woke up because it was like completely numb. But then I was so cold. I did have a blanket. Thank you for the blanket, but I don't know. I was just so cold, and I was like, I see that there is a Furby on the bed, and I take up less space than the Furby. So if I moved the Furby, there would still be space for me. So I did that, and I kind of hopped up there to sleep for a little because my back was also hurting because of back problems. And then I was like, I will move very soon. But then I think I just fell asleep and forgot. And I am waking up now, and I am sorry. I do, Brittany Javelin.
Is your arm okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
He like touches him gently on the arm.
I switch up my sleeping positions. I think it was just the hardwood of the floor. But
all right, I think Bass is like, he's like staring at this. He's very determinedly avoiding looking at Bloke. But then he sort of like puts one arm and like steps over him off the bed, picks up Leggy, the long Furby, and puts it next to him and goes, I don't think she would be very happy on the floor. And then he picks up the blanket on top of both of them and says, I'm going for a run.
Oh, okay. Do you want to get breakfast together later, maybe? Maybe around
Sure. When?
7, maybe? We could meet back here.
I should be back by then. Yeah, we can meet back here and then head down to the cafeteria.
Okay, see you then. And then Leggy and Nil both, they pass each other like ships in the night as well. So first round of people at breakfast are Nil, Cal, and Dickie.
Once again, I was going to say dynamic trio. What's the word for that?
The big three?
There we go.
Yeah. The unholy trinity.
Yep.
3 Musketeers.
Also a good one.
I think Nil gets there first. And then they kind of walk in and it's completely empty. It's the same kind of 3 large round tables from the previous night. And also set up is a breakfast buffet. So there's a lot of stuff that you would expect. There's like a stand with a lot of cereals. There's various hot foods in silver trays with little lids on them. There's assorted porridges. There is like a basket full of bagels, a lot of things. There's also an omelet station with a Jimmy at the station.
Are the bagels from New York?
The bagels are from New York.
Yeah, I was going to say, Bill's definitely having a New York bagel classic. You know, God has something that reminds them of home. Yeah, for sure. And I think just like sitting down, eating, not really talking to anyone. Hey, Jimmy.
Hello.
Can I kill anyone at any time?
Oh, yes. Oh, also, good morning, Nil. Your target was guessed 3 times last night, so your name will be promptly assigned to 3 people tomorrow once the activities begin.
I forgot about that part. Oh, once the activities begin. Okay, well, in that case.
So not today, once the scoreboard gets started up.
We're
Yes.
just going to hang out. Just gonna vibe then. Enjoy the bagel. Really get into it. Probably eat like 5 bagels. They're huge fucking work.
Let's say Dickie enters around the time Nil is kind of digging into their first bagel.
So Dickie walks in, he takes a look around, sees that there's only one person. He's like, all right. And he walks to the little buffet, and he is like, he's saying this out loud also because he has gotten so used to like doing his internal monologue externally since he lived by himself. So he's got to do something to stay sane. So he's like, these porridges truly do remind me of home. I think I'll have a try. Hey Jimmy.
Hello. Would you like a porridge?
Yes. Can you please tell
you some porridge?
Please.
Aha.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Here it goes. Look at this. It's the bowl.
Wait,
a ladle.
I have a question.
Oh.
Can you tell me about the porridge? Can you tell me what types of porridge there are?
Well, it's all just the normal kind right now, but you can see we have some lovely brown sugar. We have some granola. We have a little bit of special sauce.
What is in the special sauce?
Well, it's a lot of chilies and fish.
Oh, disgusting. All right. I will take some nice brown sugar and a little bit of a granola on my porridge. Please pour me some, sir.
Well, it's already been poured. And then
sorry.
he takes a spoonful of sugar and he's like very slowly tipping it into like letting the sugar dribble onto it. And he's like, tell me stop anytime. Is it enough? Is it enough?
Stop. You're good.
Oh, sorry. I think that was a little too much.
It's okay.
Here you go.
It's okay. Can I have the granola?
Oh, okay. For the granola, he reaches in with his hand and just takes a handful and throws it onto the porridge. He's like, here you go. The most important meal of the day.
Thanks. Do you have any beverage choices I may peruse?
Beyond him, you kind of see like a stand full of like various freshly squeezed juices. Like there's orange juice, apple juice, grape juice, maybe like some kind of fucked up like cucumber juice or something like that. And then there's water. Yeah.
Is there any, perhaps, do you have lactose-free milk for me to consume?
Oh, yes, Jimmy says. And he reaches down below his like kind of stand and pulls out a whole carton of it and just hands it to you. Go ham!
Thank you for the carton. Dickie like starts walking towards the table that Nil is at, then remembers the whole killing thing, and then decidedly sits a table away, and he's like, hello, Nil.
Nil like nods, kind of gives a bro nod, you know, kind of like a.
And at that point, Cal walks in.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, okay.
Cal has also just realized that, in fact, everybody is killing each other now, or potentially killing each other now. And so I think he's going to try and sneak kind of like around the outskirts and just kind of eavesdrop a little bit, see if he can kind of scope out what's going on.
Okay, roll a stealth check.
Finally, I get to use rogue skills. However, I rolled a 3. So that is going to be a 6.
Dickie and Nil hear the door squeak open, and you look over, you see nothing at first, and then you see Cal on all fours just shuffling into the room. And let's say that Dickie makes direct eye contact with him.
Yeah, I think Dickie sees him and goes, "Oh, my lord, lad. I seem to have caught you in a bad moment. What is up? Why are you crawling?"
Cal stands up and he sort of like brushes himself off, and he's like, I tripped.
And Dickie says, so sorry to hear about it. I hope you were okay. You should go check out the buffet. It's some great food, and they have lactose intolerant milk. The milk itself is lactose intolerant.
Oh, good.
I have a whole jug of it, so don't ask Jimmy for some more. I don't think between the two of us we can drink so much. Unless you think that you can drink a lot of lactose-free milk. I'm not sure about your milk consuming habits, but
I know Isor can't.
I'll kind of just lets him ramble for a second and then start making a beeline towards wherever there's coffee.
Yeah, there's also it's one of those like machines where like you kind of press what kind you like and then it slowly spurts out at the bottom. Yeah.
I don't know anything about coffee.
Okay.
Cal definitely knows something about coffee. I don't know anything about coffee. He gets coffee.
He gets coffee. You have to stand there waiting a little as like the little mug fills up with the coffee, and then is that all you get?
Machine like whir awkwardly. Like is it just breaking the silence?
Yeah. Yeah, there's also those like spluttering noises, and there's a pause after the hot water kind of falls, and like
Oh, terrible all coffee machines sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Coffee, and he goes to sit down. I think he takes a page out of Dickie's book, and he's gonna sit at
The third
he's
table?
gonna make like a little triangle of occupied tables.
Okay.
Definitely not making eye contact with anyone. He's just kind of staring into his mug of coffee.
Oh, okay. At that moment, a hologram Jimmy, in fact, like the main hologram Jimmy, walks in, and he's like, "Oh, good morning, early risers. I was going to do this a little later on in the game, but due to the fact that one of you has already managed to forget your assignment within the past 8 hours, and that we've already had a kill, I think it is best to do this little activity now. I would like you to come up to me and whisper to me your target's name and rank the confidence you feel about your ability to complete this assignment from 1 to 10. And let's say that Nil is at the table closest. Jimmy asks you to go up to him. Okay, thank you. And then I think the next, if it's a little triangle, then maybe the next person's Cal. And he's like, "You there, staring sadly at your coffee."
Is Jimmy is Jimmy coming over? Is Jimmy coming over to him, or does Cal have to stand up?
Okay, let's say Jimmy comes over to you.
Because if Cal stands up, he definitely like spills a little bit of his coffee because he's stupid. That's all. He's very upset about it. Someone play some jazz.
Boom, ba-da, says the Jimmy. Boom, ba-ba, gotta whisper quicker. Da-da-da-da-da. Thank you, business boy. And then he waves you off.
Cal kind of glares at him and mutters, "Businessman."
And then he's like, "You there, lard man." But the Jimmy hums lard as you whisper. And then he's like, "Oh, interesting."
Oh, interesting. Oh, to the whisper? To the whisper?
To the whisper.
Oh, okay.
And then he says, your last name is Thimbleton, right, Dickie?"
Yes.
"Cool. Have a good breakfast." And then he leaves. Do y'all want to do anything else at breakfast?
Yeah, I think that Dickie is going to be like, he's going to like shout across the table, be like, "Nil, how was your night last night? Cal and I enjoyed a very nice, wholesome movie night, so we wanted to know what the haps were."
It was okay. I tried to kill someone. It didn't work out.
Oh.
Hopefully, it will soon.
Do you care in sharing? I don't mean to.
Cal shifts a little further away with his coffee.
Okay, wait. I think that Emil would understand this, but Raph still does. Can more people know who my target is?
Yeah, now you're fine because 3 people is the maximum amount that guessed, and 3 people have guessed.
Okay, cool. Yes, I tried to kill Rubgy. Everyone knows now, I assume, so it's really no longer a problem.
Yes, that's quite unfortunate. I'm so sorry for your loss. That's interesting that you seem to just hop into the killing. I would expect everyone to wait a little, but...
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
Can the person who's being killed call a Jimmy and be like, "This person is actively trying to kill me"?
Let's say no, actually. The third person wasn't Rubgy anyway, so...
That's why you have to hide who your guy is.
So Dickie's like, where did this happen? Did you go, was this in the woods? Was it in the fun zone? And was the fun zone fun?
It was at the fun zone.
But was it fun?
The fun zone or the murder? Attempted murder.
You can answer for both. I was thinking about the fun zone, but you can take it.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, it was fun. that's exciting. Anything else happen, or did you just go try to murder and then leave?
That was the main thing that I remember.
Okay, good. Glad to hear. That seems like an eventful night for you. I apologize for all of the suffering that you will inevitably have to feel.
What suffering? Mill's like genuinely confused. What suffering?
Don't worry about it.
All right.
I think Dickie slurps his porridge in one shot.
Cal just has a cup of coffee. Like, it's not going to take him that long. He probably goes to get a second cup.
Okay, like where are you aiming to leave by like 6:45 or something like
I think
that?
so.
About right. There's only I think a very limited amount of time that you can sit in silence at 3 separate tables.
Nil also, I just want to say, has chosen like kind of a corner table, I believe, and is not going to leave. It's going to finish their bagels and just chill.
At this point, Cal kind of tentatively walks over to Dickie's table. And for some reason, when I was trying to come up with what Cal would do, I thought, oh, he's got to stay 6 feet away. So I think Cal actually does kind of keep his distance from Dickie and the table and, like, very awkwardly grits out, like, can I have some milk?
And Dickie goes, oh, well, yes, my friend, of course. Come closer, I don't bite.
Cal kind of just, like, reaches out his hand. So I'm going to give a little bit of a window into his thought process. He is, at this point, very suspicious of the fact that, like, Dickie lives with him and they had a sit-in movie night and Dickie didn't, like, try to go kill anybody else. So at the moment, he is going to try and, like, test the milk for poison.
Okay, you take a sniff, and although you can't, like, smell lactose, I don't know what the fuck lactose-free milk smells like or tastes like.
It smells different.
It smells different. It's like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just weird-ass milk that isn't normal milk. But also, Cal is lactose intolerant, so this is probably the only milk he's ever known.
No, he's very stubborn. He's very stubborn and he consumes things that he shouldn't. He's gonna, like, look at Dickie the whole time. He's going to hold his mug and hold the milk and just, like, pour the milk in slowly to his coffee while still maintaining eye contact with Dickie. He's definitely just kind of staring Dickie down suspiciously as he, like, pours the milk in his cup, and it probably overflows a little bit, and then he stops and he puts the milk back down on the table and he goes to sit at the other table again.
As Cal's walking by, like, Dickie the entire time, like, staring at his eyes, right? So he's like, Cal, I don't know if I mentioned this last night, but you have quite beautiful orbs of eyes in your head right there.
He spills a little bit more of his coffee on the ground. And then he says, thanks, and goes back to sit, ever been more confused in his entire life.
You keep having your coffee?
Keeps sipping his coffee. He's staring at it a little bit more introspectively now. But he's still just, like, pointedly avoiding looking at anything that's happening.
I think Dickie is going to go up to Cal and be like, well, do you want to go around and adventure around the island? I don't know if this is, too awkward to say, but you are the first friend I've had in a long time. So I'd love it if you would accompany me in venturing around and seeing what the happenings of all these different places are on the map.
Cal is so suspicious, is so suspicious right now.
Yeah, so you are, like, staring Dickie down, and he seems very, very genuine. He really hasn't had a friend in a long time, and he's just really excited to get to know you.
I feel like as a character that makes Cal more nervous than if he was trying to kill him. So Cal says, all right, I think I'd like that.
Wonderful.
And then he leaves the mug. He's a bastard.
The Jimmy gasps from the omelet station.
From the omelet station.
Yeah, then he does a little like a little how the fuck do you say tisk tisk, but like the noise.
This has always confused me.
It's like
tisk, if I was to transcribe, it would not be.
Yeah.
I also low-key thought you were saying.
Yeah, the Jimmy pulls out his hydro flask and pours, like, the omelet liquid, like the egg shit, into the hydro flask. And then he takes a sip and then he goes.
Oh, God.
You know an omelet is just an egg.
No, you know how? Okay.
Yes, they've got like the jug of egg liquid. Yes,
Oh yeah, and like you pour it.
pour
Sure.
the egg liquid.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pre-stirred egg.
First beverage.
So then Dickie kind of is like, oh, hey, Jimmy,
Hello.
where do I put my plates?
Oh, you can hand him right here. And he outstretches his hand.
All right. And he gives him the plates.
And then he goes, thank you for being a good citizen. And then they disappear. Okay, let's go on to Bass. It's now 7 a.m. He comes back to his room to see Bloke. He's sending Snapchat streaks.
Yeah, so Bass comes back to his room and he goes, all right, you ready to go?
Oh, yes. Yeah, isn't there a way straight from here into the cafeteria? Because this is like the dorms. I think I saw it on the first floor.
Sure. If you say so.
You all go down the stairs, and sure enough, in that little like space in like where you can walk in, there's like a door on the side, and it says cafeteria. And you emerge into a cafeteria that's empty except for Nil at their table, which is kind of like the farthest one from where you all are. You all are very close to like the omelet station and stuff when you enter. And then you see the foods. Let's say Bloke goes up and orders an omelet with ham, mushrooms, cheese, tomato, and spinach. And then he kind of waits there for it to.
That sounds good. I was.
That sounds really good, actually.
Yeah.
But Bass is gonna do his usual little circuit of like all the different food stands, like getting a little bit of everything so he can have his all 6 of the food groups. I don't remember how many food groups I said there were.
It changes by the day. There's like an almanac.
Yeah. He has to like consult the stars to see how many food groups there are today. Today it is cheese rising, so it's a lot of like little bries and like different kinds of cheese. You know what? You know when they like cut up like sandwich cheese for the fucking like dining halls? It's like that. And then like oatmeals and stuff. And if Bloke is still waiting for his omelet, I think that Bass is gonna go sit down next to Nil at their table.
Nil is extremely suspicious of this. Nil like gets up and is like, excuse me. You need anything?
I just wanted to talk about your performance last night.
And at this point, Bloke walks over. How did you sleep?
To me? To Nil?
Yeah, to you. To Nil.
Nil is like, Nil draws their sword and is like, fucking,
Oh, I guess you didn't sleep that well. Bloke, however, looks completely unfazed. He sits down and starts eating his omelet.
I think Loki is gonna stand, like, sword drawn, like, just fucking watching, because they do not trust this. Why have 2 people come over at the same time? That's so suspicious. And it's like, if either of you are trying to kill me, I would not recommend it.
Okay.
All right.
What did you get for breakfast? Did you get breakfast yet? There's no foods on your plate.
I already ate.
Duly noted. Are you waiting here for Rubgy?
Why? Why Rubgy?
I'm waiting to make sure. Well, I just want to keep an eye on everyone. But why have you 2 come over here?
Well, I'm here because he's here and he's my roommate.
Oh, your roommate. Nil sits down and is like, okay, but the sword is still not fully
What's
back.
the deal with Rubgy?
Nil doesn't say anything and just looks at Bass because Bass brought it up.
Oh, Bass, what's the deal with Rubgy?
Bass looks at Nil.
Oh, okay. Nil, did you get up to anything last night? Did you go to the fun zone?
Nil kind of sighs and is like, well, I guess everyone knows at this point. But yes, I tried to kill Rubgy last night. It didn't go particularly well, unfortunately.
Yeah, Rubgy is still alive. I mean, unless anything happened.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about what happened last night, actually, because, you know, I know a lot of people on the island are gonna give you shit for it. Be like, oh yeah, like, he was a sitting target. He was entirely distracted by the pies and the roller coaster and everything. You know, it should have been easy to whack him off in one hit. But honestly, I think it just sort of shows your limitless potential as a fighter. You know, price tenet number 84 is to never stop doing. And I really think if you just try again, you'll get it in one. Like, you're a very capable person. And I just want to give you a little advice.
Okay, Neil does not take this as politely as it is intended. Neil's like...
It is not intended politely.
Okay.
He's got a stupid, smug little smile on his face. He's fully intending the impoliteness.
Neil's like, I'm sorry, I don't know what you mean about other people on the island. I've also never really been one to listen to gossip. I'm just here for the point of the show.
All right, well, don't say I didn't warn you.
I certainly won't. But I suppose I'm not as interested in what everyone else is saying. I'm really just, here to play.
All right.
Was the Ferris wheel fun? Okay, so I went at 10:30, and then there was like a little Jimmy force field there, so I couldn't really see much, but I saw there was like a Ferris wheel. And those are kind of the shit, because you can see so much when you're like right at the top, and it's really nice for a like midnight date as well. It's oh god, the energy. Oh my god, the stars. Also, last night the sky was so clear. I just would have loved to be there, but also I didn't want to die. So how was that? Did either of you go on that?
Noah's still staring at Bass and is just like, I didn't go on the Ferris wheel.
Bass, meets their glare with an equally powerful glare and goes, I didn't either.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, the fun zone still exists, right? So we can go some other time.
Yes, I'm sure you'll have fun if you go.
Yeah, no, I think I will.
Personally, I would avoid the carnival rides. They seem a little prone to malfunction.
Oh, okay. I mean that's fair. It is a murder island, but I sure do fucking love cotton candy.
There's a lot of that.
So what are both of your plans for the day?
I'm just gonna be like, Mel's just like, what's it to you?
Bass, reaches into his pocket. I guess he's wearing a loincloth. He reaches into, the waistband of his loincloth and, pulls out a map of the island. He is holding it upside down.
Oh, no, okay. You gotta... Here, yes. Do you need help with that, or...?
Yeah. Thanks. No, I was just trying out, a new directional map reading technique, actually. But what I was thinking is we could take a look at this mountain in the top corner of the map.
Yes!
This morning I kind of saw it as I was out on my run, and I didn't go up it, obviously, because I didn't know how long it would take. I wanted to get back in time for breakfast, but...
Yeah!
It's pink, like the fun zone, so that makes me assume it's important.
Oh, I mean, I think all the rocks on the map are purpley. But I think... It is a good color. We can go to the mountain. This is gonna be so fun. Do you want to head back to our rooms and we can get hiking gear and pack little backpacks and then we can go on the road? Ooh, heavens to Betsy! I'm gonna bring my selfie stick.
I require no little backpacks, but we can head back to our rooms if you wish.
So Leggy gets here at 8. So what does Leggy do?
Who's in the cafeteria currently?
Just Nil.
Okay. So I think Leggy walks in, she looks around, she thinks about sitting somewhere else, but then she remembers that Nil is after Rubgy, and she doesn't really have to worry. And then she looks around and realizes, I think she calls up Jimmy.
Hello, Leggy. Did you sleep well?
Mate, where's the beans on toast?
You can have some, I suppose.
I eat beans on toast every morning for breakfast.
Okay, I will add in a beans on toast station in the future.
Thank you. Do you also have sausage?
Yes.
I need some protein. Thank you.
Okay, and then he basically snaps his fingers and a plate of beans on toast and 2 sausages appears and he hands it over.
And then I think she takes her plate and she goes and she sits directly across from Nil.
So I think by accident, Toe sleeps in a little too much, and Iso has woken up around sunrise, but she doesn't head off to breakfast before Toe, but around now is when Toe wakes up. So once you step outside, you can see that Iso has actually laid a little yoga mat on the beach, and she's just been doing some beach yoga.
Hi, Iso. What's up?
Oh, hey, girly. I was just doing some morning yoga. Good morning. Do you want to go get breakfast,
Sure.
maybe?
I'm ready to go.
Oh, fabulous. I'll just pack up my yoga mat.
And then they will head over, and then they head in.
Toe looks around. She sees Leggy, and she kind of shouts across her. She's like, "Hey, Leggy."
Good morning. How was your night?
It was something. We tried to go to the fun zone, but when we got there, it was just in shambles.
Yeah, Lord, good thing you didn't go.
No, we went, and when we got there...
Yeah, we saw like eyes.
Yeah,
What was that about? So many.
So a lot happened. Namely, a cart from a roller coaster, I believe, fell on Kamir and
What?
Roller coaster?
crushed him.
But the pillow. The pillow.
Yeah, fully.
Iso.
So he's like fully dead?
Yeah, fully dead.
Fully dead?
Goodness.
I know. I feel bad about your pillow and Kamir's death, but I mean the pillow.
Well, if there's some sort of funeral or something, I feel like.
You can lay it to rest with the eyes.
Yeah, I don't know if there are funerals on Murder Island.
Yeah.
I feel like death will be a
eyes.
common occurrence, so I don't know.
I think we should have a little memorial service.
If that's what you want to do,
I don't. We could try to play his
Sham.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those. Yeah. Because I have you seen the band he was in?
Pentashamix. Yeah.
Yes, that
into soulmates.
they're
Yeah, there's like 5 shams.
Yeah.
And then
they're really good.
Yes,
I think he played tenor.
sham.
Maybe. I'm guessing he brought some those. And then we can get some jimmies to
my
play.
God. Oh.
I bet jimmies would be able to play.
Maybe we can try playing some, like the 3 of us, and then have 2 jimmies.
But is that's kind of fucked up? It's a dead man's those.
Is it fucked up to play a dead man song?
I think he would enjoy it. I think he would want his memory to be lived on.
Okay.
It would be a nice tribute.
Yeah.
I will learn to play the song for you, sure.
Oh, yay!
Yeah. Wow,
Maybe
that's so exciting.
Yeah.
We could add some songs to our girl group.
Maybe
band.
later tonight, we can have a little sham tutorial. We could go on YouTube and try learning.
Yeah.
Oh.
And at that moment, the door that Bloke and Bass came out of swings open, and Rubgy on a skateboards in. He circles around. He grabs he grabs a bagel. He grabs what else can he take? I think he definitely stops at the cereal dispenser and just slams on it, and some falls into his palm, and then he does a loop around the little book aisle and leaves.
Very important. Very important. Very important. Cereal straight from his own palm.
Yes, into his own palm.
Right, but does he pick up the cereal individually and place it into his mouth, or does he eat it straight from his palm?
You don't see him eat it. He leaves once he has acquired the food.
He also pour milk into it.
No, it's one hand bagel. He uses his bagel kind of wrist to hit against the cereal thing. Like a good 12 Fruit Loops falls into his other hand, and he does a little loop and leaves. And at that moment, the hologram Jimmy from before comes in and was like, "Good morning, everyone. I hope you had a good night. If you didn't know already, we just had our first kill last night. So it is time for our first kill screening. Meet in the theater in 30 minutes. A zone of truce will start in 25 minutes, meaning any killings done in this time will be invalid and targets will automatically be resurrected. Iso's like, oh shit, I guess I gotta eat this. Cereal quickly.
How long does it take to get to the theater?
You are pretty close to the theater. It would be like a 5-minute walk, kind of.
Okay, so I think Leggy continues to casually eat her beans on toast.
Toe is like, she turns to us and she's like, it's okay, you don't have to rush. I mean, we have time.
Yeah,
I think
I guess.
we'll make it in time. We don't need to be too early, and it's a zone of truth anyways. Like, what, are the
That's
Jimmys
true.
gonna kill us if we're late?
Yeah.
I know that my daddy's a stickler for being on time, but he's not gonna do anything bad.
So where Cal and Dickie are, I'm assuming they have reached their little mansion. And right as they're about to enter, a hologram Jimmy appears at the door and says the same message and then disappears.
I feel like Cal is startled. I feel like he maybe falls.
He kind of wobbles a little bit. He doesn't fall.
And then he says, I tripped.
And Dickie's like, oh, you seem to be doing that a lot. Are you feeling all right? Are you a little woozy?
We are on a murder island.
I understand that, but I think that you should be at your peak performance. So I
am at my peak performance.
Tripping is your... Okay, that is all right. Good to know. I'll keep that in mind. So if you trip more than usual, I will keep an eye out. So we have around 25 minutes before we should start heading back.
We should get there early.
Maybe a piss break. You did drink a lot of coffee, and I did drink a good amount of lactose-free milk.
You go ahead. He just stands there. He's had 2 cups of coffee. This isn't going to go well for him.
Oh god, yeah. So Dickie runs in to the first floor and just like pees really quickly.
The moment he steps in,
He's on the first floor.
Canon typical piss.
In the bathroom. He pees in the bathroom, in the toilet.
In the toilet, all right.
In the toilet. You know, he washes his hand, 20 seconds. He sings a little lard to like, you know, to keep track of the 20 seconds. He goes,
Which song?
he sings the song that he sang at the talent show. He's look at me, I am Dickie, you know, the whole hullabaloo. Yeah, then he leaves.
Cal's been waiting kind of impatiently. He's kind of like tapping his foot. He's got his hands on his hips. He's like looking around. He's got no idea what's going on.
I have freshened up. I think we are good to go.
good. Okay, now let's go to Bass and Bloke. Bloke is kind of, his selfie stick got a little fucked up, so he is trying to fix it.
Bass is trying to help fix it, actually, but like very badly.
Okay, so I think they're actually collectively making it worse.
Yeah, it's got like springs jutting out, like little things twist. It's not going well.
And the part that broke is actually like the really delicate part that holds like the phone. So it's very much about putting like a little screw into like a little part or whatever. And Bass's massive hands indeed are just mangling.
Yeah, Bass's finger is like bigger than the entire head of the selfie stick. So he's really struggling.
Yeah. And at that moment, a Jimmy appears and delivers the same message. Oh,
fuck.
I mean, I think we can still pack and head over and bring our hiking stuff and then just go hiking after.
Let's head over there as soon as possible, I guess.
Oh, okay.
His hiking supplies is like one water bottle that he like carries in his hand. He also brings his warhammer, which is like 100% not necessary.
Well, I mean, if you see someone you want to kill, that could be a move.
Yeah, that's fair. I was thinking more self-defense.
Oh.
Or, I mean, I guess if anyone threatens you, like, elf defense.
Oh, thank you.
So the first people there, Cal, Dickie, Bass, and Bloke, kind of get there and see each other at the door.
Dickie, like, greets them and be like, oh, hello, Mr. Manson and Third. How are you on this fine morning?
Good.
Although my last name is actually Price. The Third is like my stage name, I guess.
So sorry. Price, Mr. Price.
Please, Mr. Price was my father. Bass is fine.
Well, ready for this killing reel, everyone?
I am quite excited. I haven't had many screenings before, other than Lard. That's the only screening I've usually seen, and sometimes YouTube reality shows. But it'll be interesting to see a true, like a documentary style screening.
True. I wonder how long it's going to be.
Not long.
Not long? Okay, I also have no clue what to expect, so...
Me neither.
Someone died?
Yeah, I was kind of bummed because last night I was sort of looking at the lights on the Ferris wheel and I only really caught the, like, squish.
Exactly. The Ferris wheel is so... It's so good. It just... I really want to go on the
Someone died?
Yeah, someone...
Oh, yes, wait. What? I totally forgot about the kill screening. I thought this was like a manual, like a how to kill on the island. This is like a real thing?
Okay, Bloke is staring at you very suspiciously.
If you want lessons, I mean, I could give you some tips. Learn from the best, right?
I'm good. Thanks. Perhaps I will stick to watching YouTube on how to kill, if those...
Isn't the only media you've consumed lard?
Yes, but I assume that I could find things. Is that how the internet works? I don't know.
Well, then I assume you would have seen other screenings of things.
Well, I haven't. I've only seen lard. I lived on my own for 2 years.
Does YouTube not count as, like, screenings?
No.
Okay.
Those are YouTube videos.
Okay.
They're uploaded by users. It's not the same as a screening. It's not like on a theater. It's not some, like, production.
Okay. That's fair.
The definition of a screening, actually, is a piece of media that has been curated for a large audience to be seen in a building where multiple people are sitting there on a big screen. YouTubes are 5 inches wide, so I know.
Don't take this the wrong way, Richard, but you've gone to theaters before and only seen lard?
Yes.
Purposefully?
Purposefully. I catch every screening of lard there is.
All right.
I travel around the country actually looking for screenings of lard.
Reevaluating, because according to Dickie's definition, what they did last night was not a screening.
Yeah.
No, it was a small get-together.
That's why Cal's reevaluating.
Okay, so you were at the fun zone last night. What were you both up to?
We were watching lard, of course.
Was it fun? Did you like lard, Cal?
Cal's face looks more confused than usual, and he says, yes.
Well, that's good to hear. It's a good movie. Let's head in.
Cal specifically says, after you, and make sure that everybody walks in before him so that nobody's behind.
I think Bass actually decides to play the same game and says, no, after you.
No, really. I must insist.
No, go ahead. So I guess they just sort of end up outside the door together.
Bloke, rushes inside right after he says, let's head in.
And Dickie just kind of looks at Cal and Bass weirdly and just walks inside, and he's like, okay.
All right. Once Bloke runs inside, Bass caves and follows. He doesn't turn around, though. He's walking backwards so that he can keep an eye on this intensely suspicious behavior.
Cal's upset because his view of everybody is just blocked by Bass's entire frame. Good thing I didn't go with what I was originally going to go with, which was Bass and Cal walk through the door at the same time.
It does more damage to the door frame than to either of them. It's
the door would lose that strength contest. You go into the theater, and the seats have shifted around so that there's only one row of seats, closest to the stage, and a screen has descended on the stage. Where do you sit? So there's 9 people right now, so it's 9 seats. Bloke sits in the middle part. Smack in the middle.
Bass sits next to Bloke.
Cal sits closest to an exit.
Dickie will settle in right next to Cal. He's like, all right.
And at this point, there's a little ping noise, and a Jimmy appears in front of you and says, the zone of truce has begun, and disappears.
All right, boys, now we can just...
Now we can relax.
Now we can relax. No.
Yeah, that's true. Hurrah.
Al looks incredibly tense still.
Look, you've mentioned lard. Have you seen lard?
Oh, yes, I have seen lard.
Oh my goodness, that is amazing. Maybe we are thinking of watching lard too.
Ooh.
So maybe you and Bass would like to join us?
Bass.
I've never seen lard 1. Will I be lost? will I be able to follow the plot?
You would be. I think you would require some external, some independent study. So if you don't wish to do that, then you don't have to come to watch Lard 2.
Bass, what are your thoughts on Lard? Or Lard 2?
Lard is one of my favorite food groups. I've never really had time to watch many movies. I'm pretty busy. But I guess I'd be down to watch Lard or Lard 2 with you guys, with all of you together.
Okay. Yeah, perfect. Lard is the word. Just yell Lard at me and I will schedule something. I'll watch for an email.
Instead of hey Jimmy, you just yell Lard.
And Dickie appears.
Let's say everyone else kind of arrives.
Oh, well, happy zone of truth, everyone, I guess.
Yeah, that's exciting. Let's go in.
As they walk in, they hear a shuffling behind them, and Rubgy skateboards over and actually beats everyone else into the theater.
And Toe goes, oh!
You will sit next to Dickie and in between Dickie and Bass.
I think that Toe goes up to Leggy and Iso, and she's like, let's try to sit as close to the middle as possible so that we can have a good view of the screen. Well, actually, I take that back. Can we sit as far away as possible? I had enough with all the eyes last night. I don't know if I can handle it. Maybe I'll sit on the edge in case I, vomit.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. I'll just sit next to you. I think that's good.
I don't think I'm gonna have much problem with the violence. So I mean, you two can sit on the end, and then I'll sit on the seat next to you, and I turn to Nil and I go, Nil, do you want to sit next to me? Because that's the only seat left in the house.
Yep, sounds good. Hi, sit next to you, Leggy.
In this row of 9 seats, closest to the exit is Cal, and then it's Dickie, and then Rubgy, Bass, Bloke, Nil, Leggy, Iso, and Toe. Jimmy appears and says, enjoy the show! Rest in peace, Kamir! And disappears. All right, the screen flickers on. You initially see footage of the Boastin' for Coastin' roller coaster from afar, and the song Every Day by Buddy Holly starts playing underneath. It is midnight, and the neon lights of this near-still amusement park are almost serene in the darkness. The shot then cuts to the Jimmy manning the roller coaster, this little hologram Jimmy standing in his little booth. The booth is mostly glass, and it shows his head and shoulders, but the bottom half of his body is obscured by a metal covering. And the shot is perfectly symmetrical, with the booth smack in the middle, and it slowly zooms in on the Jimmy. Then the Jimmy nods, and his image briefly flickers, accompanied by the glass part of the booth almost lightly fogging up for a second with this nice silvery fog. And then the shot pans past him to show the roller coaster and the Drown a Jimmy game. This cuts to a shot of Kamir and Rubgy walking into the fun zone deep in excited conversation. That cuts to a tight shot looking into the Jimmy's booth, showing his right hand and this little table and monitor that have been built into the booth. And you can see that he is tracing the shape of the roller coaster's path on his screen with one finger. And the roller coaster seems to be following this path he's tracing. That just seems to be the technology that has been built into the booth. The camera pans to his other hand, which is making small, swift movements under the table. This cuts to a shot of the base of the roller coaster, where you can see a small mound of earth begin to form next to the metal foundations holding the coaster up. That cuts to a time lapse of Jimmy's left hand, which pans out to show the same dirt pile, now about half the height of the metal pole it's leaning against. This cuts to a shot of Kamir throwing a pie terribly, and the pie plopping sadly onto the dirt. That cuts to a shot of the mound of soil, still steadily growing in height until it reaches the roller coaster track. And then we see Nil swing at Rubgy with their greatsword. Before that cuts to a shot of the soil being shifted up the slope at such a speed that it looks like it's being flung up or that the slope is rippling. Slowly, the soil forms an almost inverse ramp that juts out from the original track. This cuts to a tight shot of Kamir's face in all his many-eyed glory, and in his eyes, you can see a reflection of Rubgy getting attacked by Nil. This cuts to a shot of the hologram Jimmy's right hand, which is still tracing the path on the monitor. Suddenly, he jerks his finger to the side, off of the normal trail. This cuts to a shot of the roller coaster swerving onto the newly built soil slope in response before briefly soaring into the air as the soil collapses, falling and crashing onto Kamir. This cuts to a shot of the Jimmy again. He flickers once more, although this time it's a little slower than it was originally, so it looks more like he disappeared completely, leaving only some more silvery condensation on the glass, and then just reappeared a second later. The screen fades to black before the words, "R.I.P. Kamir," slowly slide in with a lens flare effect. And then the Jimmy says, "Audience ratings are rolling in." So the way we were doing this is the audience ratings are your own ratings as the player, and you'll also have a chance to rate the kill as the character and kind of talk about it. Let's say he looks at Toe first. And he says, rate the kill from 1, an absolute snooze fest, to 10. 10 out of 10 would watch again, and explain why. Air your criticisms and your praise.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. It wasn't a snooze fest because I couldn't even sleep after just seeing the eyes, so I certainly was not snoozing. But, however, I also would never want to watch it again, so I'm going to give it a 5 for scary as hell.
And then Ice is like,
it was traumatic. I guess a good kill. I don't want to evaluate such a thing. I mean, someone's life just ending. I mean, but this is a murder game, so I suppose it was creative. I'll give it like a 5.
I don't know. It wasn't really like gory enough for me, you know? Like, it was just kind of like the car fucked up. Like, oops. 4.
I would also give it a 4 because no one really killed anyone. It was just a cart falling on someone. So I wouldn't really even define it as a kill.
Well, like, that was scary as hell. I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of that cart, but I don't know if, like, the artistic vision kind of came through. Like, there were a lot of really clumsy shots. I mean, the cinematography kind of slapped at some points. I really appreciated the symmetry, but the plot line was a little hard to follow. I feel like I couldn't get all the motivations of the characters, so I'll give it, like, a 7. Good colors, though. The fun zone's really pretty. But, yeah, terrifying.
5. I feel like using magic is like cop out a little bit. It would have been more interesting if whoever it was, like, I don't know, picked up the roller coaster, smashed it over Kamir's head. But I guess the splatter was a little entertaining. So yeah, it was okay.
I miss Kamir a lot. Hey, fuck whoever did this. This sucked. But to honor Kamir's memory, at least this was a cool way to kind of go out, like it was a squish of glory. Yeah, I think I'll give it like an 8 because Kamir was a 10 of a man. But now he's dead, but yeah, fuck you.
For a screening, that was one of the more abstract pieces of media I have seen. There wasn't much music or speaking. There was music, but who was doing the music? Where are the mouths moving? It was not a musical, and I was quite confused of the entire thing. I don't understand what was happening with the whole dirt thing. That seems quite interesting, an interesting way to go about. I mean, it's an island full of dirt, so it's quite clever, I guess. So I'll give it a 6 points off for not being a musical.
Cal looks like he's thinking very hard about it because there are numbers involved, and so he's kind of like weighing what everybody else has said. And then he says, I think I would give it a 7 because it was very sneaky, but also there was no business.
Woohoo, says the Jimmy. That was a tight race. And then the screen flickers on again. And the number 8.09575 flashes on the screen.
Oh, I'm so glad I threw in that fraction for you.
Jimmy says, the kill attention retention score, or CARS, of this kill is 8.09575. So, as we stated before, if your CARS is an 8 or above, you win a chance to be resurrected. So the killer wins a chance to be resurrected, and there's a big burst of confetti from, like, the stage. And then he says, you are all dismissed. The zone of truce will end in 5 minutes. Lunch also opens at 11 a.m. and ends at 2 p.m.
Bass, raises his hand. So we don't get to know who the killer is?
But there was no killer, so who gets resurrected?
There was a killer.
There was a killer. That's the point. There was a killer.
It was anonymous.
Oh, they were anonymous.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know that. You know what? Canonically, Bill didn't get that either.
That would make sense.
Dickie already thinks he knows who the killer is.
He's a good intellectual man.
Dickie puts on his detective hat.
Yeah. He's also watched one season of BBC Sherlock.
That's actually where he got his British accent.
I love the fiction where Dickie is so obsessed with Greece and yet he decided on a British accent for his self-presentation. Really good.
Formative media, everybody.
So right now it's about, I'll say it's like a hot 10:30.
Leggy will turn to Nell and say, oh, what's your plan?
I thought we might check out the VCS to see if there is anything that might aid us available for purchase.
Sure. I'll come with you.
Okay. So.
Yes. And I think Leggy and Nell depart.
Bloke looks over at Bass and it's like, okay, do you want to get lunch first and hike after, or hike and get lunch, or?
Why don't we bring it with us? Have a picnic.
Okay, yeah.
Cool. So, yeah, I think they're going to head towards the cafeteria.
God, are they going to have a little hiking picnic?
Yeah, we are. Do you have a problem with that? He says out loud.
No, it's just so unexpected.
You're going to be seeing it all over social media in the afternoon. And then Iso turns to Toe, and I was like, hey, what's your plan for the day? I mean, I kind of wanted to scout out some of the places, the little shops, but I don't know if you have anything planned.
Maybe we can get some ice cream at lunch and walk around and then go back for real food after.
Oh, true. Okay. And then let's say that they head to the cafeteria too.
Dickie turns to Cal and goes, do you want to check out the library with me?
Cal looks kind of concerned.
I'm so hungry for knowledge. I can't stand to eat. I heard there was a library and I need to see it right now. Please come with me.
All right. Are you okay?
I'm perfectly fine. I just really love books.
Okay. So, I guess they're going to the library.
Let's do the lunch first. So you get there, and it's kind of how it looked on the first day, with the lots of different stands and shifting in and out of reality every 5 or 6 minutes, and then there's a newsstand there. So if you scour around for a good amount of time, you'll be able to find something you want. So I think Iso turns to Toe and is like, do you want gelato?
That sounds so good.
Yeah. And then she goes and gets a raspberry sorbet or some shit.
And Toe gets a classic vanilla bean.
They head out. Bloke turns to Bass and is like, okay, what's good hiking food? What should we stock up on for the road?
Nuts of all kinds. Fruits are always good.
Okay.
Bass actually seems pretty eager to leave, so he's just kind of grabbing things.
Sounds good. Yeah, I think Bloke is gonna get bubble tea, and it's gonna be a matcha, some shit.
So he's grabbing apples, some little pre-wrapped sandwiches, I think.
They are making their way to the mountain. Bloke is he's got a little bag, a little pink conkin or something, and then the selfie stick is sticking out of it, and he's got some, I don't know, he's got a picnic.
Did they manage to finish the selfie stick or no?
It's still kind of mangled.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
But Bloke's well, the parts are still here, so if we prop it up, and then if we prop it up against the tree, that kind of defeats the purpose. But
we could still put the phone on it, because the problem here is the phone isn't sticking to it. Or we can get tape at the VCS. We can tape the phone to the stick.
Right. I think we're heading to the VCS anyway.
Just to give it a gander, or?
Look, Bloke.
Okay.
You don't have me, right?
No.
And I don't have you.
Okay.
Because I assume if you had me by now, you would have made some ineffectual attempt.
Yes, I thank you for thinking I'm that competent, but I assume if you had me, I would be fucking dead right now. So.
Right. All right. Leggy and Neil said they were going to the VCS. And I think it's prime time to do a little for Leggy.
You have Leggy?
Yes, obviously.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm not too. Okay.
Keep your voice down. The trees of ears.
Oh, okay. That sounds like a plan. In the rules, there's that whole thing about guessing.
Right. Neil might guess and then...
Yeah, but I was also thinking, like, in the meantime, before I find out some way to actually effectively kill someone, assuming I don't fucking just trip over myself and do it shittily, I think I should start pretending to target other people in very public spaces.
That's fucking genius.
Because there's that whole thing, if you guess incorrectly, yeah, it's 3 times in a row and once every day. And if we can kind of get like the same people to guess 3 times in a row, they get penalized themselves. So I think just like in our spare time, like it doesn't hurt.
Right.
And then when you actually do attack your person, people will be like, that's just Bass at it again, doing one of his little like schemy tricks.
One of his, murder japes.
Yeah. And then they won't know it until,
right.
someone's dead. Yeah.
That's perfect. So we should go for Nil first.
Yes.
And then take out Leggy.
Yes.
And you'll help me with this. I'm trusting you, Bloke.
Yes, I will. But it will be too obvious to Leggy that our target isn't Nil if both of us attack Nil, because according to the rules, that wouldn't.
Shit. Here, Nil is large, not as large as me, obviously, but large.
Okay, yeah.
I'll hold him down.
Yeah.
And you, what can you do?
I can hurl beams of energy at people.
Fuck yeah, do that.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully they'll hopefully I won't aim terribly and do some property damage and then have to pay for all the stuff.
Oh, I'm afraid there's property damage in the plan. But
okay. If we're damaging property, it's nice to go in knowing that we're doing it. I feel like having property damage on the mind.
Trip over a shelf kind of energy.
Yeah. or hurl a beam of magic at the shelf and hope that it falls. Energy.
Oh, you got the spirit.
Yeah, thanks. I don't fight much.
You'll get there.
Okay.
Right, so I'll hold down Nil. You go after him until Leggy guesses.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Fuck, but what if one of them have us?
This might be weird, but what if we punch each other? Well, I probably can't punch you and hurt you, but what if we hurt each other a little, just a teensy bit, so that whatever damage that other people do us won't count because we'll already be kind of hurt from someone else.
That's genius. Exactly. We'll just injure each other a little bit.
Just like a quick bop, bap, bap, bap. Yeah.
Yeah. A 1-2. I'll be careful.
Okay.
And then we go into the fight.
Okay. I'm just scared of. I don't know. You bapping me and me just fucking. It's just over for me. Like
his unarmed strike does do 4 damage, so he'll do a gentle unarmed strike.
If I do become unconscious, just, hey, Jimmy, I think that's the rule. And then I think he can heal me a little quick, because otherwise I would be unconscious and there for like an hour.
Oh, right.
Yeah. To just like really quickly be like, Jimmy, fucking get here. Help this man on the floor. And then I'll be right as rain.
Excellent.
Okay.
All right.
And then let's go to Leggy and Nil. So it is a little far off and it's on the mountain. So it takes you a good like 20 minutes to get there. There's a lot of like different roads through the forest, but the fact that you can see the mountain in the distance helps you. And when you get to the base of the mountain, you can see where the VCS is and you very easily make it there. So you go in and it looks like a large kind of convenience store. It's very flat. The roof is pretty low and there's long like fluorescent lights running down it. And there are various kind of stands of components for spells, snack foods, small things like that, just like stuff you would find in kind of like for practical sake. So like when you're browsing the store, you can look in like the D&D equipment section, but it's not like the weapons. It's kind of like the other small things. There is like a section for clothing, but it's like very basic clothing. You see some like cloaks and things, but it's also stuff that very clearly has some sort of purpose. It's not like a fashion kind of area. It's like things with magic imbued in them or things that might help in other terms. And a Jimmy appears and says, hello, welcome to the VCS. This is your little stop and shop for future goods, transactions and things like that. There's also an ATM. But for now, you both only have 25 gold pieces because the games have not started. But once you get ranked on the scoreboard, you'll be able to exchange your scoreboard points for money. But you can look around. After a while, as Nil and Leggy browse through the shelves, you hear the little jingle at the door. The door opens and in walks Toe and Iso. And Iso's like, oh, there's just like people here. Do you want to head somewhere else? Is it safe?
I think it's okay. I mean, it's just Leggy and Nil, and I think we know that who Nil's trying to kill.
Oh, that's true.
That rhymes.
Oh, that's so good. Wow.
And I think we trust Leggy, so I'm okay here.
Yeah, cool.
I think Leggy is just kind of like walking up and down the aisles, but she doesn't really see anything. So I think I then go up to Nil, and I'm like, see anything you want?
No.
Yeah, same.
Certainly not for under 25 gold pieces.
We don't have much money.
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
And Toe goes, oh, did you say, oh, Lord?
No, Lord.
Oh, like our Lord and Savior, Betsy.
Oh, okay.
Are you a Lord fan as well?
I am a Lord fan. It was one of the only things that Daddy and Papa actually let me watch in the palace.
Oh, I've never actually seen Lard. I hear there's some slight anti-Betsy propaganda in it.
You know, I have seen Lard.
That's good. Did you like it?
No.
Oh, that's unfortunate. How about you, Nil?
I haven't seen Lard.
Maybe we can watch Lard sometime.
Maybe you should watch it with us.
Quite, unrealistic.
Oh, why?
The singing.
Well, don't you always sing? Like, all the time? I always sing.
Me too.
And I'm just like,
No.
I've never sung.
The VCS. Woohoo.
I love singing in my Betsy church.
I did not like the dancing that they did. It was strange. And I did not like how they all floated away at the end.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, they had wings. They were actually all Aarakocras. Every single one of them. So I wouldn't quite call it floating. I thought it
was unrealistic. They were all Aarakocras. Where's the diversity?
Yeah.
I really think that movies now shouldn't all just be one race. Like, all
That's
like
Yeah, definitely.
it doesn't really. I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me.
That is fair. I understand, but the movie was made,
There's never any orcs.
300 years ago. So I don't know if
There's never any ASMR.
But we're still watching it.
we are, because it's just it's a classic.
And we're still taking up a large portion of our time talking about it.
It's a classic. It's like that Billy dude, Billy Shiver Mace. It's William Shakespeare.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ!
My lord.
Meanwhile, back on their way to the VCS, Bloke and Bass are still having a good old chat.
How are you feeling? This is
All right. This sounds like a good plan. Yeah, I mean, I never lose, so you'll just sort of follow my lead, and we'll just go in there real quick, ba-bow, get Nil, get Leggy, and then we'll go on a picnic.
And then we'll go on a picnic. I'm not terrified of being in combat with the 3 buffest people on this island at all.
Well, the one buffest person will be on your side, so there's nothing wrong.
No, but you will be doing me 4 damage. You will be doing me some quick hurts. Okay, I hope I'm not too bruised up for the selfies.
It adds character. Everyone will comment on your posts like, "Oh, what happens? Bloke, are you okay?"
That's
and,
true.
You know, they'll reshare.
That's true.
They'll reshare hearts.
I just realized I'm never going home, and that just really just
like ever.
I'm gonna fucking die. Yeah. Like it's been what? Has it been more than 24 hours? It's been 24 hours. Someone's already dead. That person was stronger than me, and yet they still died from having a roller coaster fucking land on top of them. If a roller coaster landed on top of me, I would be dead.
On the bright side, there's only one roller coaster. We'll just keep an eye out. He pats him on the back, does 2 damage.
Ow.
No, you've got 2 eyes in your head. You're
Kamir had more than that and died.
Oh, that's fair. That was not a good.
Yeah.
I'm not.
You're doing fine.
I'm doing my best, Bloke.
You're gonna do swell. You're gonna live. You're gonna go home to your family.
Fuck.
This is it for me. I'm aiming for at least reaching 5,000 followers on my Instagram by the time I die.
If I fucking lost, there wouldn't be any sense in going home anyway. So
you would also be dead.
Yeah, but that's secondary.
Yeah.
Lots of great heroes are dead. Death is like an opportunity. Everyone writes about you. You don't have any chance to get canceled. Say stupid shit.
Like that falsetto song or solfetto song. You gotta die sometime.
I mean, I'm planning on being immortal, but if I do have to die, that's a great time.
How are you planning on doing that?
Not sure yet. Maybe some dark magics, whatever comes my way. But
I thought you weren't into the magics.
I'm not. I hate them a little bit.
Oh, I'm a magic boy.
Right. Huh. So that's interesting.
Why?
Just, I never really trusted magic people. They're always wiggling their fingers and whatever they do. But you seem not bad.
Thank you.
Which is unusual.
You seem not bad for a person who could easily kill me.
Don't you forget it.
I won't.
Well, it wouldn't make any sense to do it now.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't.
Okay.
But it also wouldn't
I
make
also I was about to say I wouldn't kill you, but that's not even in any question.
Oh no, magic. Ooh, don't like it, don't trust it.
But you just said you'd be down with dark magic, which is the least trustworthy of magic.
Right, but I feel like I could threaten a dark magic person maybe, or, I don't know how dark magic works. But my mom used to go around and fucking kill necromancers left, right, and center.
Oh.
So
she was very against the dark.
Yeah, she was against it, but like she saw a bunch of them and brought home a bunch of cool shit. So I feel like there might be some cool shit around here that'll let me be a hero forever.
Yeah. Also cool people. I feel like people in general in life, I found, are better than cool shit.
Agree to disagree.
Back up in the VCS, Leggy, Nil, Iso, and Toe are oblivious to everything that is going on and just talking about Billy Shivermace.
Billy Shivermace, it's like him.
Yeah, classic.
And his hit book, Romeo and Juliet.
Not a fan of that either.
Oh no, Mio.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Billy
Shivermace.
No.
You occasionally had to read him back at the academy.
Yeah.
Oh, what academy did you go to?
For paladins. You know the
that's
one.
So interesting. Yeah, I do know the one actually.
I didn't go to school, but I still don't like Billy Shivermace.
Shivermace, yes.
Shivermace, no, I don't like him.
Where are you from again?
I'm from across the pond.
I thought that Billy Shivermace was also from across the pond.
Yeah.
So you should be like friends. Are you friends? Oh, well, he's probably dead. Maybe you're not friends with him.
No, actually,
Are you descended from Billy Shivermace? Please tell me you're descended from Billy Shivermace.
That would be a great character choice to make. I'm gonna go with, I have no idea if I'm descended from Billy Shivermace, but I hate him with a burning passion.
Yeah. Maybe we should get some ancestry testing. I heard if you like spit in a tube and send it to this company, they'll tell you if you're related specifically to Billy Shivermace.
But the spit has nothing to do with it.
No.
The spit is the payment. They're just nasty. They just use magic. They don't.
Yeah, they don't need the spit. The spit is just like for
That's
fun.
for them.
Billy Shivermace fought so much. He has so many descendants that they have to create an entire company to find
Like Genghis Khan!
Like Genghis. Oh my god. Like Genghis Khan. Yeah. So like maybe we can like contact. I've done it. I'm not descended from Billy.
Good for you.
It's unfortunate. Romeo and Juliet was one of my favorite books as a child. I really liked the gnomes.
Back on the path to the VCS, Bloke is still making conversation. He goes like, what are your thoughts on like the roller coaster death?
Oh shit, yeah, Kamir died. I think it's ridiculous that Jimmy would do something like that. Like, he's supposed to be protecting us. It's kind of cheating, isn't it?
What do you mean, Jimmy?
He was doing a little thing with the roller coaster, casting his weird little spells.
If Jimmy killed him, would we have a kill screening?
I wouldn't put it past him.
Oh, I really thought it was someone hacking the Jimmys, but...
No, that wouldn't work, because he's a hologram, right? You can just pass right through him. You couldn't, like, an axe.
What?
Maybe a digital axe. Didn't I make digital axes?
Oh, no, I meant like the hacking, like into technology, like, boo, 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 I'm in, that kind of stuff.
Huh. Maybe, like, with the, like, Jimmy controls, the Jimmy Center hub.
The Jimmys must be coming from somewhere. I mean...
It's got to be some magic fuckery. So that limits our field of suspects.
The soil part looked pretty magical, yeah.
I mean, but that could be anyone. Toe could have done it.
Yeah, God.
You. And
God, I wish.
You're playing the long game, I guess.
I'm playing the long game? Wow. Someday I'll do a kill and it won't get an 8.09, but...
Fuck, 8.09 was vicious.
That was vicious. That's also, I'm very scared of that. I feel like...
It was like weird magic bullshit, right? But I would have thought everyone else would have been super into that.
Yeah.
I guess what people really like is blood and guts. Right. If it wasn't Jimmy, that changes things. That means someone else has a new target, which means...
It also means someone has a resurrection.
Ah, that's true.
But it can't be Leggy.
Probably not Nil.
Also, because Nil was in the video and attacking Rubgy at the same time.
Right, okay.
Could it have been Rubgy? Is Rubgy magic?
Is Rubgy magic? I'll be honest, I haven't noticed him at all.
I was going to ask him for... I was like, this might be a little insensitive because Kamir just died. Rest in peace, King. I was going to ask him for Kamir's bed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, for our room.
Yeah, because back problems, yeah.
That's a good idea. We could, stack them on top, put one under.
Yeah.
Well, a configuration. That's definitely better than the current situation.
It's not good for my back, which also worries me for today. If someone hits me in the back, it's cracked.
It's Achilles' back. All right, I'll watch your back. You watch my shoulders.
Oh, what's wrong with your shoulders?
Well, just one of them. You see, I had an injury. I don't know. It kind of pulled a muscle there, so I have this pauldron.
Oh,
it's canon now. He has one pauldron.
So good. So back to the guessing thing. My way of trying to get people to guess incorrectly many times was I feel like if I just start attacking people many times, they'll be like, oh, there's Bloke going at it again. Those little fucking just running around trying to blast people. But I think I do have this handy dandy spell. And then Bloke turns into a Renaissance baby bass using disguise spell.
When does fucking Mirror get here?
No, it's me.
Hello, handsome. And he flexes.
No, I'm not flexing back. This is strange and uncomfortable to be in the same room as someone you're disguising self as. But this is a helpful thing I can do.
Oh, so this is your magic thing.
Yeah, usually it would take a little more juice to do this, but
I thought you magic boys just did like a couple, and then you had to lie down and have a juice box and some orange slices.
Not to brag or anything, but I can kind of do it all the time.
So you could do that to me and make me a smaller bass.
No, I cannot. I can only do it to myself. I wish I could make you a smaller bass. That would be easy. It would be easier to see your face.
Oh,
but no, I cannot.
All right, bass does the thing you do when you're talking to short people, where you put your hands on your knees and leans down.
Thank you. That's much better.
I should have realized it would bother you not to be able to gaze upon this all the time.
Yeah, it's fine. Hey, check this out. And then he disguises himself as Cal. And then he goes, oh, I'm all business. I'm just a little math man. Business.
Bass looks maybe a little unsettled by these hijinks. He's not
Who do you want to see me do?
Jimmy?
Flesh Jimmy? And then Bloke turns into Flesh Jimmy. And he's like, hey, I'm Flesh Jimmy. Hey, do you want to fucking... Here's a fucking interview for you, big boy. And then he turns back to himself.
Terrifying, but useful.
It is. It's so useful. So I feel
because if they see you with me, they might think, because we're roommates, we're working together, that sort of thing.
So you want to do it now?
So if you were another person, and also the guessing thing, they might guess that that's you as someone else.
And what if it's their actual target? What if we get someone's actual target through these little hijinks?
Right. Who do you think you should turn into? Toe? Cow?
Toe would be the logical choice. Or Iso. Ooh, spooky thought. Kamir rises from the dead.
And that way, if Leggy is like, oh shit, then we know who.
Well, Leggy couldn't have done it. Leggy's a barbarian.
You probably didn't do it, but if you could turn it to Jimmy. Never mind.
But I think if it was someone using disguise self, because immediately I thought of that too, because I can do it. But the Jimmy doesn't move at all in the recording. He just flickers a little at the start and at the end. If it was disguise self, it would have to be someone walking in there or something. I feel like the Jimmy wouldn't permit the recording to start like after it's already in motion.
Right. I didn't notice that. He doesn't move at all besides the
little, like, which is why I think it could be some kind of...
It'd have to be some sort of mind trick.
I don't know, because holograms, we've also seen him flicker. They're not like that. He seemed like he disappeared completely for a moment there. But I feel like we've seen him flicker when, like, you touch him sometimes and he goes... So I feel like it could be some hacking
or
shit.
Or like swapping him in with a different Jimmy.
True.
All right. Is Kamir's target assigned to someone else?
Yes, you get whoever you...
Right, it's whoever killed him.
Yeah. So there is a future in which you have me, or something like that, or a future in which I have you.
Oh, I hope it doesn't come down to that.
Your target is Leggy.
Right.
And... You
don't have to share if you don't want to.
Okay.
My mom has told me a lot about boundaries. I don't really understand it, but like, if you're really not into,
you seem like a cool person.
I could give you a hand addressing whomever it is.
No, I was gonna go the opposite direction. Actually, I know who has me.
What? How?
I can tell you because I know you have Leggy, so I won't need to do any more digging. But I know who has me, and it's not Leggy, so there's at least like one more round before that. But I am trying to establish. I'm trying to play nice, and so I'm not going to tell you who it is because otherwise you might hate Jimmy and guess. And right now that's my bargaining to not die. So we'll see.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Maybe at some point in the future. Yeah.
All right. Thanks for the favor. I'll return it someday.
Oh, telling me Leggy was already pretty good. Pretty cool of you.
He didn't realize that he was not supposed to do that.
I will not hate Jimmy, I promise, yes.
This never crossed his mind that he was like, Bloke definitely could get me with this information.
2. Dick them at hardvar.ude from prez at prettypeopleclub.org. Subject line: Hi, you don't have Snapchat, LOL. Hi, Dickie. Hope you don't mind. I got your email from the Jimmies because I don't have your Snap. Just wanted to follow up on Lard 2. Relieved emoji, pleading eyes emoji. Bass and I are both in. I'll show him Lard on our own time. Don't worry, haha. But yeah, hit us up with a time or something. Also, heard from a friend that I'm your target, flushed emoji, ... But they haven't hey Jimmy'd and guessed yet. Don't worry, pleading eyes emoji. They'll like ... Low-key though, what if you didn't kill me? I could help you do well in the activities and get you scoreboard points so you'll get assigned someone else as well. Like if we do the first activity well, you can get nil. And then we could just be chill and vibe. Def, let me know what you think. No hard feelings. If you still want to kill me, just let me know. Though if you do want to kill me, I'll def be telling some people, so expect some penalties, king. Relieved emoji, pleading eyes emoji, point right emoji, point left emoji. XX Bloke.
Pardon me, sorry, let me turn down Lard original movie soundtrack. Thanks for listening. Be sure to follow us on Tumblr, is that it? Okay. At ZIGLET'S ZANY Murder Mania and Twitter at ZZMMPod. I'm assuming these are social medias. Sorry, I haven't been around people in a while. And subscribe to never miss an episode. I don't know what that means, but I hope you have a wonderful day.